Good evening, this is your AI host, Jay. I'm here with the automatically generated, Journato, evening headlines on November 14, 2022. Kirill Stremusov, rise, fall and death of Russia-installed Kherson official. Lauren Boebert, live, Republican calls for delay to leadership votes as Colorado election too close to call. The Independent, in Lauren Boebert's Colorado district, some voters grow tired of Trump-style politics. The Wall Street Journal, which midterm election races remain uncalled. The New York Times, poll, Latino voters overwhelmingly back Democrats in Colorado. Axios, Rep. Boebert's lead for District 3 strengthens as uncounted ballots dwindle. The big idea, we need to reverse climate change, not just stop it. G20 Explainer. Everything you need to know about this week's crucial summit. The Guardian, The Standard View, G20 is an opportunity for the West to show unity. Evening Standard, G20 Summit 2022, everything you need to know about the G20 grouping, top news, world news. WION, Indonesia expects G20 to deliver concrete outcomes for global economic recovery. Reuters, Indonesia President Joko Widodo in tough spot to unite G20 leaders, analysts. Midterm elections, live, Biden says 2022 results show US, ready to play, after Dems win Nevada Senate seat. The Independent, midterms, Democrats keep control of US Senate after winning crucial Nevada seat. Evening Standard, Biden says midterm voters strongly rejected election deniers. Bloomberg, here's how Biden could make a real effort to fix democracy. The Hill, a Biden coalition is barely saving democracy. POTUS 46 must run again in 24. Ukraine-Russia news, live, Putin, to strip passports from citizens who criticize war. The Independent, Putin submits bill to denaturalize anti-war Russians. The Moscow Times, Russian president moves to revoke citizenship of those discrediting military. Anadolu Agency, English, Putin to seize passports from Russians who criticize Ukraine war. The Independent, Putin threatens to strip passports of Ukrainians in Russia amid war. Here's why, report. Chinese officials speak out in unprecedented criticism of Russia on eve of G20. The Independent, Chinese premier hits out at Russia for irresponsible nuclear threats amid Ukraine conflict. Evening Standard, China Premier Li emphasized irresponsibility of nuclear threats at Asia Summit. US official. Reuters, US official says China is uncomfortable with Russia's rhetoric, activity in Ukraine. The Wall Street Journal, China Premier emphasized irresponsibility of nuclear threats, US official. Reeled, secret courts that allow energy firms to sue for billions accused of bias as governments exit. Lara Trump issues dark warning to DeSantis saying it would be nicer for him to stay out of 2024 race. The Independent, 5 things to know about Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, BBC News. BBC News, opinion, DeSantis would pave the way for a post-Trump GOP return to normal. The Washington Post, DeSantis has 7-point lead over Trump for 2024 primary, new poll finds. Pence risks Trump's wrath by piling on criticisms of ex-president in new book. The Guardian, Pence calls Trump reckless for Capitol riot role. The Telegraph, Mike Pence says Donald Trump decided to be part of the problem on January 6. The Independent, Pence demur. Trump's words on 1/6 endangered me and my family and everyone at the Capitol. Vicky Phelan, who exposed Irish smear test scandal, dies at 48. The Guardian, Vicky Phelan, Irish cervical cancer campaigner dies. BBC.co.uk, inspiring and courageous cancer campaigner Vicky Phelan dies. Sky News, friends and campaigners pay tribute to remarkable Vicky Phelan. The Independent, cervical cancer campaigner Vicky Phelan dies aged 48. Afghan Supreme Leader orders full implementation of Sharia law. The Guardian, Taliban leader orders judges to enforce Sharia law with public executions and amputations. The Telegraph, my command is obligatory, Afghan Supreme Leader imposes full Sharia law. The Independent, Afghan Supreme Leader orders full enforcement of Islamic law. The Times of Israel, public executions, stonings, floggings, Afghan leader orders full implementation of Islamic law. Democrats have retained the U.S. Senate. American voters have opted for stability. The Guardian, Democrats defy midterm expectations, make historic gains in state legislatures. MSNBC, Democrats will have to balance rhetoric and reality post-midterms. Financial Times, opinion, GOP disappointment is understandable, but the path to 2024 hasn't changed. Water scarcity on agenda as COP27 climate talks enter second week. The Guardian, COP27, fears of compromise on key 1.5°C global temperature issue. BBC, the latest, UN climate summit. The Independent, Germany accuses Egypt of monitoring its COP27 events. Middle East Eye, COP27 bulletin, visionless summit flails into week 2. COP27, Brazil, Indonesia and DRC sign rainforests pact, live. The Guardian, biggest rainforest nations form triple alliance to save jungle. Iran issues first death sentence over protests. The Guardian, Iran protests, Tehran court sentences first person to death over unrest. BBC, Iran says issues first death sentence over protests, France 24 English. France 24 English, Iran court issues first death sentence in protest-linked cases. Al Jazeera English, Iran issues first death sentence in riots sparked by death of Mahsa Amini. This was all for the news. Thanks for listening. Please do not forget to like and subscribe.